Raw Black Metal Hails here from Rauta. This time we go to Switzerland with this black metal self-financed release. Now this is a one-man project coming from Switzerland and it's all done by one man alone except for mastering, which then again was explained to me as, wanted to give the vinyl sound the proper sound or production, how it's supposed to feel and sound based on the tracks actually recorded and all. Now one man is taking care of all the instruments, be it drums, guitars or vocals, and also done the cover art. And we can really discuss about the cover art. It's not exactly my favorite. Some people say it's quite horrible, and in a way it is. But then again, it's done by the artist himself. So there's this kind of a spooky creature hanging around in the what seems to be as like snowy forest. So it's a very, very simple drawing, very primitive. But if you think this is primitive, you haven't heard the music of Aspaarn yet. Ancestral Genocides is so far the only release by the band. This is limited as far as I know, 200 copies, self-financed. So this vinyl is sort of a rarity in that sense. And here is how it looks like. This is coming from the Swiss Alps. And the story of this band is interesting in the sense that this is only, one-man project. And the music is very, very raw, very lo-fi black metal. And when I'm talking about the story, this is related to Alps, the local area. And these Ancestral Genocides is actually going through the prehistoric ages of this area. There has been mass graves and all, and the artist himself is pondering like how these people could live in these kind of environments and survive, because it gets cold and grim during the winter and all, lots of snow and all that stuff, and of course cold breezes, winds and all stuff are making the life less than tolerable. And also that is kind of like going to the very roots of this area, history and all. So I think it's an interesting concept for a black metal album versus the rather typical evil, Satan and darkness. Anyway, self-financed release with an interesting backstory, interesting concept. Now, what is the music like is of course the question. Now, when I say raw black metal, when Metal Archive says raw black metal, I can totally agree and say, yeah, it really means that. Now, for comparison, if you think that Dark Throne's rawest era, the kind of a Panzer Force meets Transylvanian Hunger and Under a Funeral Moon, if you think they are raw, well, this is a tad bit raw. This is like the rehearsal room / demo recording version of that stuff. Now, it's really raw, really lo-fi sounding release, which is not for everybody. The riffs are sometimes rather obscure, sometimes they are just plain simple, primitive and raw, the kind that just goes right into your bones with its, hissing sound and all that stuff. Now the downside of having this kind of material, both in terms of production and riffs, is that it's not really, some honey to your ears. I'm trying to say that the sound can be really challenging. Now, I am a fan of some of the raw bands out there, so for me it's not like a no-brainer. I can totally listen to it and enjoy it to a certain degree, but I must say the lack of bass, for instance, is, it's kind of not exactly annoying, but it's it could be used. It could be there to just give this album even more obscure, more powerful feeling versus the rather thin, raw and kind of a weak sound overall. Sometimes you can barely hear all the drums, so it's more like your imagination getting into the business and trying to figure out what's going on. Most of the time it doesn't really bother, but sometimes you wish there was more power. It's not so much like the raw guitar sound is a problem, but it's like lacking some of the cymbals being heard and the bass guitar. Raw vocals then again totally fit the thing here, so it's kind of a no-brainer. Now when it comes to the songwriting, because of the raw overall production, it's kind of a, punishing the songs more than I think it's a fair deal. So with more powerful, more crispier or cleaner production maybe, this could have more space where these riffs could actually, you know, show their power and all. Now it feels like some of the potential is lost in translation. Translation that is this very lo-fi sounding. So you're kind of like, yeah, I want to dig this so bad, but sometimes those riffs make no sense. And you know, when you seem like some of those cymbals and drum poundings are kind of vanishing in the thin air, you're like, yeah, it's supposed to be there, but it's not. So you end up figuring out, okay, this is a kind of a demo recording. This is maybe some rehearsal room tape with zero budget and all. So you kind of like it because, I mean, after all, it's kind of a forgivable, but at the same time, you really can't make up things that are not there. So if it's your imagination filling the blanks, so to speak, well, good for you. But most people are just getting what they hear. That's what I'm thinking anyway. So in case your mind is filling the blanks, then it's your mind doing you a favor. But that could go wrong in so many ways. So to be fair, to be honest here, I could say this could be a lot better. So while I like the kind of a raw atmosphere and the lo-fi sound, I still can't praise this and be honest at the same time. So I like the approach, I don't like so much the outcome, and hence I'm only giving this 6 out of 10. Definitely potential, quite interesting, and I like the concept, and I like it's kind of like one man only. But let's be honest about it, little more push, little more effort in the production, as well as, you know, the whole recording and mixing and overall the instruments could do this one a favor. Vocals are good, the music, well, just quite okay. So whether or not you're gonna give this one a chance, it's up to you. You will find the links provided in the description box so you can figure out for yourself. But be warned, this is raw black metal and definitely not for everybody. Not for people looking for symphonic, atmospheric or melodic black metal. You have to like raw black metal in order to like Aspaarn. So if you like it, you already like raw black metal. That's all from Rauta. Looking forward to your comments and opinions. Put them in the comments box below if you need. And that's it. I'll get back to you. Meanwhile, take care and bye-bye.